Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I wanted to talk about the natal aspects of Sun, Trine, or Sextile to Saturn. So what happens when we have a easy or flowing aspect of Sun and Saturn in our natal chart, the Trine or the Sextile? So these aspects is still with Sun and Saturn, there is a seriousness because they are still quite different forces in our natal chart, right? So there still is a very distinct seriousness, committed energy towards their goals. These people are very driven. It's not a lazy trine like some trines are. When we have Sun and Saturn trine, or Sun and Saturn in a sextile is even more active in a way, but it takes a little more effort. It can definitely show that the person is very focused on outer success. Sometimes, in the negative sense, with the trine or the sextile, we can see like a person who very much wants to be like high status and like look a certain way to the outside world, which can kind of be coming from an egoic place. Although it's not really coming from an arrogant place because they're actually very humble with the trine of the sextile, and they still have that like um, hard on themselves kind of energy that the square would have, where they're very driven and they want to be better, and they definitely want to look a certain way to the outside world. They want to be successful, they want to put their mark on the world, right? And so they can be very driven, and they can have goals that they set out to achieve, and then they achieve them with a bit less effort than people with the hard aspects, but still, it does require some effort. Even Saturn in a trine or a sextile, you still got to put in the work. It's not going to just be given for free. So it's not like the kind of luck of like a Jupiterian person, unless this person also has a very strong Jupiter. It's still, the success is a result of hard work and pushing themselves, and they just have a bit of an easier time doing that. Like they have a bit of an easier time with like setting a goal, and then looking at all the steps that they have to take to do it, and then just doing them, even if it's hard, even if they have to sacrifice things that are pleasurable. Like they don't care, they just keep going, and they can be extremely hard workers. They can put in a lot of hours, and but at the same time they might not always need to, because there is an element with the trine of the sextile where it's like we're more able to be in the right place at the right time, and like having the right energy to um, do things like efficiently without as much work. Like we'll still have to work, but not as much work as people with the hard aspects that are just having a constant struggle, right? So what the books say about this aspect, and that I found to be true as well, is that the masculine energy, right? The sun and Saturn is a form of our masculine energy too. So the masculine energy, or what does one of the books say? One of my favorite books says like the genes or something from the masculine side of the family are healthy, are strong, are favorable. And I would even take this a step far to be not just the genes or the body, but like I would say that the energy of the father has been beneficial in most cases. Not to say they're not going to have daddy issues, like other people, like maybe their sun is square to Pluto or something, right? This isn't like I'm just isolating this one aspect, but usually with the sun trine or sextile Saturn, the father was at least somewhat of a positive presence in some way. There was something about him. He was probably hardworking. He was reliable. He was there. He maybe he paid the bills. Maybe he was lived a stable life, right? With Sun trine Saturn or Sun sextile Saturn, he instilled some positive messages to the child that taught the child that with hard work, with dedication, you can have what you want. So he gave the child those messages with the sun trine or sextile Saturn. Now, women with this aspect, because the sun can represent, how she relates to the masculine as, the form of the husband, right? Women can be attracted to men who are stable, which can be helpful. Like they're attracted to the men that are, they pay the bills on time and they, live with integrity. They're more attracted to, that kind of man when we have the sun in positive aspect to Saturn, where yeah, they want like a reliable daddy, right? Because that's what they experienced on some level from their father, from their paternal lineage, right? They could have been a grandfather. There was like a seriousness to the masculine energy, but in a way that was helpful for the formation of the ego and the identity of the person. As far as their outer success and how they shine in the world, it's like they feel comfortable in knowing that they will be successful. They feel comfortable in putting in the work towards a goal. They feel comfortable in being seen for their achievements, even though they might not like to be the center of attention. This is still a rather, like I said, humble, or they're still quite self-conscious with the sun in any aspect of Saturn, actually. There still is that Saturnian kind of, maybe they don't want to be front and center like spotlight, right? Unless they have a lot of Leo. But they're okay with being seen and being known for their giftedness and their talents that likely they put a lot of work and effort towards. So this isn't like the overnight success. This is like the slow and steady success that happens over the course of a lifetime. That does often happen with the Sun trine or sextile to Saturn. So yeah, and about the physical body can also be strong. Like it can be able to handle the work ethic that they have. So it's like we have the right amount of physical energy to sustain the plan, whatever it is that we're doing, unless you have other hard aspects of Saturn going on somewhere else or other sixth house stuff. Usually with the Sun trine or sextile Saturn, it is favorable for health, and it's favorable for, like I said, that kind of being in the right place at the right time with the right energy as far as your purpose goes, your career goes. And for women too, it can be their relationship with men. It's like they just, not that it's not hard at times, but they just do expect a kind of solid, reliable guy to show up, because that is like, in a sense, their inner masculine. Like I believe that everyone has an inner masculine, inner feminine, and obviously we can see that with astrology. So with the Sun trine or sextile to Saturn, we're going to see the inner masculine of the person, right? Because we both have it, being, yeah, kind of steady and reliable and very serious, very dedicated, like very driven, right? We still want to make something of ourselves. We still want to achieve something. We have goals, but we stick to the plan. We stick to the goals. We have integrity here. You can still see with this Sun trine or sextile Saturn that the person is kind of a rule follower. Okay. They're not going to be one to skip steps or try to do anything shady. Like they're like very orderly still, and they really do respect authority, and they don't want to take any shortcuts, and they usually, like I said, they're in integrity, their morality, at least as far as material success goes, and like their outer life success and purpose, is like coming from a very strong place of integrity. Like they don't want to be taking any shortcuts or doing anything underhanded. Like this is like they are the rule follower. They're gonna, if they're taking a course with you or something, they're gonna follow every step and like do it exactly how you said, and follow the plan, the structure. Like they respect that, they appreciate that, and you can see them being like, yeah, more structured in their own life, and liking to have a plan and liking to stick to it, and following the rules and the regulations. And unless there's like a Uranian bit somewhere else or something where they're like, screw the rules. But usually on some level or in some sense, especially with like their outer success, like I've said, and even their outer persona as well, there is still like a calculated energy. There's like a Saturnian energy. You can still kind of see it in people. Like they will be there when they said they would. They will do what they said that they would. They're reliable, really, on like a deep level, they are extremely reliable people and loyal, and they can be surprised when not everybody else is like that, because it's such a natural part of them to just do the right thing and you know, follow the rules and do, you know, what is in integrity for them. And when other people don't do that, they can be quite shocked and judging. They can be more judging with Sun, Trine, or Sextile Saturn, because they see the chaos of other people out there, and they just don't relate. It's just not relatable with the Sun, Trine, or Sextile Saturn. The Trine is more powerful. It's going to be more strongly felt, and it's in a way maybe more likely to have a bit of inertia, where like it could potentially be that things are so easy for them that they don't always act on things, but usually Saturn will still push them a bit. And then the sextile is actually quite active. You see someone who's very goal oriented, very much in the right place at the right time with the right people, kind of thing. The sextile is like a more relational, kind of social aspect, right? So they can be a bit more active with all of these traits, but then at the same time they don't quite feel as Saturnian. It's like they're constantly trying to like prove that they are to people, but they still have it, but it's just not quite as strong as the Trine, which is like so natural that they might even miss that they have it. So yeah, it's usually a very favorable thing for outer success and for confidence. Even though they can be so hard on themselves, it's like the confidence doesn't come from things being easy. The confidence comes from their ability to follow through with things when things get hard, and their reliability, their groundedness. They will start to feel self-confidence when they value and they realize like how freaking solid that they are. That's where the confidence comes from. It doesn't come from being showy or being attractive or charismatic, which sometimes you might not be with the Trine or the sextile. It comes from the real down to business, like, I am a solid individual. I'm a practical person and I get shit done. And if I say I'm going to do it, I do it, and I'm on time and I do it right. And yeah. I have the sextile between Sun and Saturn, but my Saturn is in Pisces, so I feel like it's a more kind of spiritual sense of it. But I do relate to this, and my father was very present in my life, even though I have Saturn in the 12th house and in Pisces. But making an aspect to Sun, which is in the first, or actually right at the beginning of the second, depending on how you determine house cusp. But yeah, so there's like a wanting to work for what you want, and then the ability to just keep going and keep doing it forever. And yeah, it's a good one to have. I do think that it can be kind of like a good karma with the masculine energy, with the father lineage. Like there's a gift being given from that side of the family for sure. And it's the gift of that reliability, that they were there, right? Very present, very strong influence on the person with Sun, Trine, or Sextile Saturn. So I'd love to know your experience of this aspect. If you have it in your natal chart or you know someone who has it, let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for your requests, you guys. Keep those requests coming, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.